Welcome. Oh yeah, you can hear me well. So welcome to the second session of our International Staff Week. Today we are going to be covering topics regarding coming from the Faculty of Economics and Administrative Sciences at IBU. First, I would like to invite the Dean of the Faculty of Economics and Administrative Sciences, Dr. Liza Alili Suleimani, to have a welcome speech. A round of applause, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Dear Coordinator of the Erasmus, Professor Dr. Snežana Bilić, esteemed international professors, dear colleagues, dear students, valuable guests, let me first welcome you at International Balkan University on the occasion of the third International Staff Week, which is organized by the International Office. And at this time, I would also like to use this opportunity to express my sincere gratitude to Professor Bilić and to the girls from the International Office, to Dukita, to Arbnora, to Jansu for organizing such important event and promoting the activities of the Erasmus Plus staff mobility, which in a way shows us that we can have and that the EU supports the learning opportunities for individuals, as well as it also supports the internationalization and the institutional development, as well as the individual development of all of us. And I believe that these mutual benefits are for us important, as well as for you, which are here today, and that you have used this opportunity and choose our institution as a destination to fulfill your mobility and to benefit we from you and you from us in this direction. In this way, I would just like to give some short information about our faculty. The Faculty of Economics and Administrative Sciences at International Balkan University has programs in 3 cycles: first, second, and third. In the first cycle, we have actually accredited 4 programs where we have international economics, we have e-business, we have banking and finance, and we have management. And around so far, we have registered approximately 200 students in these cycles. And in the second cycle, we have accredited 2 programs which are in this year active. We have international economic relations and we have business administration, and 1 program we have accredited for the third cycle, which is a PhD in economics. In our faculty, as full-time professors, there are 8 professors, from which we have 3 full professors, and Professor Snežana Bilić is one of them. And we have 2 associate professors and 3 assistant professors, and we have also numerous of teaching assistants and student assistants, which are helping in the activities of delivering the exercises, and some also administrative activities in our faculty. So I would not like to make this speech more longer, but I would like to give a floor to the international speakers which are included in this session. And once again, I would like to express you gratitude for your presence here and to welcome you at International Balkan University and in North Macedonia. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Professor Liza Alili Suleimani. So at first we will begin with a presentation from Povislansky University, and from there we have Dr. Beata Pavlovska presenting strategic management elements in small and medium enterprises. Applause. Like, we all need encouragement. We all need encouragement.
Thank you so much. I have some problem and I need the optician, as you know.
We'll turn this presentation from here.
Okay, thank you. Martha will help me. First of all, I would like to thank you for the invitation. We are really honored to be here. It is a good opportunity to meet new people, and I hope we will increase our cooperation. But let's start my presentation. First of all, I would like to tell you that we have some problems in Poland. According to pandemic, in 2019-2020, Polish government created anti-crisis shield. It wasn't good for Polish companies, not only small and medium ones. And 2021, new Polish order was implemented. And in my opinion, some of small and even medium enterprises, as you call it in the schedule, will die. So they close their business. They will close their businesses. In my presentation, I would like to present the results of research entitled "Shaping Competitiveness of Polish and Small and Medium Enterprises on European Union Markets." Diagnosis of competitive strategies on foreign markets was carried out by means of space analysis. In this analysis, 4 generic strategies, I mean aggressive, defensive, competitive, and conservative, were described as a typical way of market performance. You can stay this way, this point. Generic strategies were also analyzed by degree of strategic activities coherence. It turns out that heterogeneous, homogeneous, semi-geneous, and complementary types of dominant logic exist on the foreign markets. The second issue deals with cooperative strategies of small and medium enterprises on domestic markets. SMEs often act as suppliers, as you know, for global cooperations, for global cooperation. In this place, I would like to tell you that Polish small and medium enterprises have the possibility of work in special area zone. Some time ago, they told us that this special economic zone in European Union will stop their activity in 2060, but they still they continue. So Kwidzyn region, as the region where Powiślański University has the main activity, is one of the most important in Poland. Many American companies are there, like maybe you don't know, but the biggest company in the world, international paper company, so I mean American and French ones. In many cases, I realized that small and medium enterprises are part of industrial and service clusters, especially hub and spoke type. In the paper, we want to present cooperative strategies of small and medium enterprises, which were identified as clusters. So we can see first strategic perspective, Davar and Frost model. You can see the matrix with competitive assets and pressure of globalization in 2 aspects, high and low. We can say that there are 4 strategies: Dodger, Contender, Defender, and Extender. Go on. And these are the results of structures of indicated strategies. Dodger over 36%, Contender 14%, Defender over, let's say, 34, Extender 16. Yeah, please go on. Yeah, we can go on. We can see the strategies in space analysis. Just move. And the factors of industry assessment are connected with environmental stability and industry strength. We can see the factors determining stability of environment, and we can say that there are the technological changes, rate of inflation. The research were conducted in 2021, but now we have a big problem because the rate of inflation in Poland was 2%. Now, in my opinion, it is no 30% as they told us. It is over 30% because of the war between Russia and Ukraine. So our companies will have a big problem. Some of them, unfortunately, will die. So the next, the demand aspects, price rank of competing product, barriers to entry into markets, competitive pressure, and price elasticity of demand. Okay. Factors determining industry strength are as follow: growth potential, profit potential, financial stability, technological know-how, resources utilization, capital intensity, easy of entry into market, and productivity. Oh, there is no productivity. The next one, factors determining competitive advantage as are follow: market share, product quality, product life cycle, product replacement cycle, customer loyalty, competition's capacity utilization, technological know-how, vertical integration. It is very interesting that when I am talking about SMEs, I can find some vertical integrations aspects because it's not very common for SMEs. So my opinion is that European Union should separate small enterprises from medium, because there is a big difference between self-employment, for example, one staff company, and the company which employ over 200 people. I haven't finished yet. Sorry, but yeah, I have finished, sorry. Factors determining financial strength are as follow: return on investment, leverage, liquidity, capital required, cash flow. We have some problems with cash flow, I mean the companies. Sometimes we have to wait over 70 days for our for the money. Easy of exit from market, risk involved in business, and we can move to the next group of factors determining financial strength. I have finished, sorry. We can see the Simigini strategy. Go on, I have only 25 minutes. Yeah. So it is the structure of strategies on domestic market, for aggressive, defensive, conservative, and competitive. Okay, thank you. The next one is? Here we have monogenic, polygenic. There are 61% of monogenic strategies, polygenic only 39. As far as structure of cooperation is concerned, we have forms of cooperation like contracting, 25. Components exchange is very popular in Kwidzyn region, 11%, R&D cooperation, 8%, outsourcing, it is very popular in Poland, especially in bookkeeping and some others like logistics, etc. I think it's very common in your countries also. Alliances. Some time ago, I managed to find some alliances even in medium enterprises. And licensing, 5%, joint venture, only 4%. Here we can see the structure of factors influencing firm attractiveness as a business partners. The factors strong brand, supplier relative costs, quality, geographical location of supplier, cost of supplier change, price competitiveness of product. Kwidzyn region is very popular as a supplier area, but in a special economic zone. Okay, so the end. I have some few words to say, so I'm very fast. Sorry for that, because I didn't understand the last email, and I thought I have only 7 minutes. But now I know everything. Everything is clear for me. I can find the old teacher, but this I have some conclusions, but I can't. Oh yeah, the conclusions. Research of competitive and cooperative strategies requires a multidimensional approach. Competitive strategies should be analyzed by various well-known perspectives. Polish small and medium enterprises were analyzed for the full picture from the several different perspectives. Because of lack of research in this matter, it is very hard to do comparative research. The same problem is with cooperative strategies. The clusters conception in Poland is a new problem, and research is on the very early stage. What is characteristic for Polish successful enterprises? First of all, innovations and innovators, differentiation and focus, extenders, contenders, aggressive new products on new markets, homogeneous, polygenic, various types and forms of cooperation, networks, developing core competences and using innovative business models, and incremental approaches to the strategies. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Gata. By the way, I must say that I love the way that you are all representing your university with the scarves and with the nails that match the colors. Next, we will have Professor Milena Filipova from Southwest University from Neofit Rilski with the topic Nature and Types of Managerial Decisions, Objective and Subjective Factors Influencing the Managerial Decision-Making Process. With your phone or? Okay. Okay. Just give me a minute. Yes.
My presentation is about managerial decisions. Actually, the management is a process of continuous.
If you excuse me, just wait a moment. Is this better?
It's okay now?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. The management is a continuous process of decision making. It is typical for decision as a process that it goes off in time and is implemented in several stages. To that regard, here can talk into consideration the stages of decision preparing, making and implementing. The decision-making stage can be treated as an act of choice of a variant of action performed individually or by a group of persons who make a decision with the help of particular rules. This definition puts the stress on the fact that the situation in which the choice maker is has several actual outcomes. The decision as a result from the choice is a prescription for action. It can be operation plan, project variant, and etc. Among several feasible variants, one is chosen and it's made a prescription for action, a task for implementation. The decision can be studied also as a managerial act. The assignment of the implementation is made by the means of an order or command that can be oral or written. A necessary condition for proceeding to managerial decision-making is the presence of a problematic situation. The problem is a situation meeting three conditions. The person who makes the decision, an individual or group, is in a position to choose among several existing and implementable variants. The person who makes the decision vacillates between the variants to choose, and the choice made can have significant consequences. In order to proceed to taking a managerial decision next to the presence of a problem, some other things are also necessary. The first one is available team of competent specialists having sufficient authorities. The second one is available development system of indicators and criteria for assessment the best alternative. We can specify the following as a major decision typical signs. Option to pick one out of many alternative variants. The precision of goal to be pursued with such a decision. Purposeless choice is not considered a decision, and need for evolutional act of the person who takes the decision for the choice of decision. This person is responsible of the decision made and signs an order or some other papers containing the decision. The managerial decision can be classified based on different significance signs, based on the signs function of management. We can speak about planning, organizing, governing, and control decisions. Base of the managerial body plays in the hierarchy in the decision can be strategic, tactical, and operative. Strategic are taken at the highest level of the organization. They have long-term characters. Usually they are connected with the strategy of the company, and they are very important because they influencing the job of all other levels of the organization. Tactical, they are taken at the medium level of management of a medium-term character. Operative, they are taken at the lowest level of management by the so-called liner manager. They have more routine character. Based on the specificity of the task to be solved, the decisions can be programmed or not programmed. The decision is programmed when an analogical situations is recurring, repeated routine procedures are used in the decision-making process, and non-programmed when the situation is unique for the company and the decision is to be the first of its kind. No ready and verified methods can be used in the decision-making process. Based on the degree of uncertainty or completeness of the information, decision can be three types. Decisions taken in the conditions of certainty, decision taken in the condition of risk, and decision taken in the decision of uncertainty. When the company need all needed information, when the company has all needed information, the decision is making uncertainly. When the company has part of information and other part of information don't has, the decision is taken in conditions of risk. And when the company don't have more needed important information in that situation, decisions are taken in the conditions of uncertainty. Based on the possibility for production the results, there are two types of decisions, predictable and unpredictable. Predictable are when decisions, the results from which can be predicted, and predictable when the results cannot be predicted. Well, there are objective and subjective factors which influencing the process of managerial decisions making. The major components of outer environment are microenvironment and immediate environment. They are objective factors. The microenvironment covers the factors exerting indirect influence on the managerial decision-making process. This is the stage of economy, legal regulations, political process, social and cultural factors, technological factors, natural factors and resources, and international factors. The immediate environment covers the factors exercising direct influence on the managerial decisions-making process. These are the consumers, suppliers, competitors, and human resource. Subjective factors, depending on the particular combination and the require and seeing managers' qualities, there are 4 types of managers. First one is innovative and analytical. This person is energetic, innovative, a good organizer, susceptible for new information, full of ideas, make quickly decisions, and secures a good integrity in the company. Innovative and intuitive. This person is innovative, makes quick decisions without taking the resources adequately into account, aims at going his or her job by him or herself, shows intolerant for mistakes of the people, pressing his view on other people. The other type is conservative and analytical. This person pursues perfection, does not take risk, theoretically consistent, exhausting, and reluctantly accept decisions. And the last type is conservative and intuitive. This person devoted the traditional method. He is inflexible, addressed to the past experience, lack clear goals, inclined the punishment and requiring obedience. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Professor Milena. I have to adjust it for the height. So next, our final presentation is going to be from Professor Pulinas Bielskis. I hope I pronounced that correctly, from Lithuania Business University of Applied Sciences, on the topic of the importance of the transformative. Give me a moment to open it so I can say the title correctly. The importance of tourism transformation in the global economy.
Yes,
thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Oh, let me just put it. Yeah.
I will adjust it right now. Yeah. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Pulinas Bielskis, and I'm representing Lithuania Business University of Applied Sciences from Lithuania, Klaipėda. And I also represent Tourism and Communication Department. We have a study program which is called Tourism and Entertainment Industry. Of course, we have we're preparing bachelors in management of tourism and entertainment industry. So, as for myself, I have been working in a tourism industry for more than 20 years. Currently, since 2018, I have been giving lectures in Lithuania Business University and working as an associate professor. So I'm sharing my experience, practical experience, and also theoretical knowledge with the students. I'm actually giving lectures on tourism management, hospitality management, organizational behavior, and image of organization. But today, I will concentrate on tourism and the need for the tourism industry to transform. Actually, when I was submitting my presentation, so it was supposed to be a slightly different title. Yes, dedicated to the importance of tourism to the global economy. But I thought that it is more relevant, much more relevant, to talk about the challenges and about the need for the industry to transform, to change, because I have experienced that myself. So why we need to change, why we need to transform. So here is the picture taken back in March of 2020 in London Heathrow. You know what happened back then, the biggest crisis in the history of tourism, when this disaster called COVID struck, and all the planes were practically grounded. All the cruise vessels had to sail somewhere full of tourists, because the ports were afraid to take them in. Nobody knew how to tackle with this pandemic. Nobody knew how to actually act and how to escape those facts. So that was actually only one reason why the tourism industry has and had to transform. But the very strong kick and very strong reason for the tourism industry. So, but let me start with the basics. So just very simple question. who is and what is tourist. So I believe that everyone here has been tourist for once or always. So, but basically for the tourism to happen, there are three factors that are needed. Of course, we have to have the person, the tourist, who wants to travel somewhere. Then, of course, we need to have a transportation, which takes the person to the destination. And, of course, the most certainly the destination itself, with attractions, with infrastructure, which is probably the primary reason, but not always for the person to travel. So, yeah, this is basically very easy. That's about tourism. Also, we have other definitions, and World Tourism Organization says that tourism is about all types of activities that the person is involved apart from being on job, being on work. So all travel which takes longer than 24 hours and which is away from the person's living or working environment is about tourism. So I do not agree completely to that definition, because sometimes you can combine being on business at the same time you can be a tourist. But that's the classical definition, which I have to sometimes say to my students. Very briefly, as to the categories of tourism, when we talk about tourism, we basically say that there is an outbound tourism if we arrange trips to another country, and then there is an incoming or inbound tourism that all countries are interested in just accepting tourists and providing some services for them. But also we can talk about international tourism. When the international arrivals are involved, we can talk about domestic tourism, which is very interesting and has boomed during the pandemic, especially. We can talk about local tourism if we take a tour here locally in Skopje, so we will be a local tourist.
Or if you go to Ohrid.
Or we can, yes, and if you go to Ohrid as well. So, yeah. Another interesting classification could be according to the motive of travel, because when the person, basically, that's the most important thing, because the person has some idea, some motive, some reason to travel. So whatever the reason might be, could be a culinary experience, could be a holiday, could be a business travel, or could be something very specific like dark tourism. Have you heard about the dark tourism? About people going to the cemeteries, visiting the horrible places, the places of disasters. Yes, there is such type of tourism. Scientists say that up to 300 different types of tourism could be counted. So I guess there will be not enough time for us to count all of that. But adventure, nature tourism, so whatever the reason. So that is so fascinating, because I also tell my students so that you could look at this list, you can definitely find some niche of your own and create some kind of product that could be interesting for you and for the customers. Yes, the tourists, as I said, classical definition is about the person who is traveling more than 24 hours, but how about those who are just one-day visitors? They could also be tourists, like here. So international, local, one-day visitors, what is, or let's say we have to agree, those people who are not tourists, so those who are basically living in a country, like militaries, like diplomats, or let's say refugees. So from the, let's say, tourism perspective, they are not regarded as tourists, but they can be tourists also. Let's say that is the paradox of that. Okay, when it comes to counting or statistics, so there are different methods of counting tourists and how many tourists have each country accepted. So it's either by the border crossings, which is not always right, because you can simply cross the border due to some economical reasons, let's say to buy cheaper stuff. So that's not what the tourism is about, but much more relevant analysis would be if we look at the data about the overnight stays and about the occupancy of hotels. And also in tourism, we say that there are basically two reasons for travel, either business or leisure, or now the new trend is be leisure, when you can combine both. Being on this wonderful trip to Skopje for teaching, I can also somehow combine my leisure activities and be a tourist at my free time. Now to the global economy, and we sometimes talk about the tourism ecosystem, the players, the main industries, because tourism is so wonderful because it consists of so many different players, of so many different factors. We have destinations with attractions. We have accommodation sector, hotels, wide range of hotel accommodation sectors. We have travel and trade, tour operators and travel agents working. We have guides. We have transport sector. And of course, we have entertainment, culture, catering. So not to mention other sectors that are facilitating for the tourists to feel safe and have the good services. So when you look at this slide, you can imagine how big the industry is, because there are so many different industries united in this, as we call it, tourism ecosystem. And no wonder that tourism is global economy. Just the very basic facts that actually globally it's 10% of GDP is created through tourism and tourism-related industries. 1 of 10 jobs, and I just recently read that even 1 out of 7 jobs is in tourism industry, more or less related to that. So it is about 7% of the global export, which is really huge. And yes, the tourism contribution is 3 times bigger than agriculture. So it is really a big, big industry. And it impacts the world and impacts the countries and the economies. Just let me... Yeah. Yes. I found some interesting data here. So talking about Europe, actually Europe is #1 and top destination internationally with regards to international tourism arrivals. You see 40% of all international arrivals globally is in Europe. 2.4 million businesses working in the tourism industry. And basically small and medium-sized businesses, SMEs, like Professor from Poland today told us. So, here, you can see that some countries are really much more dependent on tourism than the average 10% of the GDP. Countries like Croatia, it's 24, almost 25%. Of the total economy is dependent on tourism. So, and the others, Cyprus, Greece, Portugal, Austria, Spain, Italy, so you name it, you can see here. So it is really, really a huge amount of revenue generated. So you can imagine how those countries must be, what those countries must have felt during the pandemic. Not to mention the other countries like Thailand in Southeast Asia. So, yeah. And, of course, tourism contributes to the jobs, tourism contributes to the local economies. And actually, the development of tourism is always a trigger for new businesses to develop. If we have a beautiful destination, and the tourists are coming, so definitely a small hotel or a restaurant or a gift shop will start to emerge and they will start operating. So this actually boosts the economy, and not to mention the local produce and local crafts. But what is for me more important and very interesting, that apart from the economical perspective, apart from the economical impact of tourism, which we can measure easily by counting the revenue or any other KPIs, there is some cultural importance of the tourism, because tourism is also contributing to the cultural exchange, to the better understanding of countries, of different cultures. And for the local communities, it could be a sense of pride. When I was visiting Australia some time ago, so the local indigenous people that are real Australians, they're really proud when the tourists are visiting them, because they can show their culture, they can share their heritage and their arts. So this is actually a good impact, not only measured economically. But we are coming to the need for the tourism to transform. Apart from the good sides, there are also some bad sides. And you know, the over-tourism, this is the picture, maybe not very clear, but taken from Venice. So Venice is the example of what can the unregulated flows of tourism do to the city itself. You know, those big vessels, they can carry up to 6,000 people. And in Venice, there is not only single one ship or one vessel calling, actually 3 or 5 coming one after another. So imagine those amounts of people going to the streets of Venice, and so the people can really not breathe easily. That's one thing. Another thing is vibration and pollution. So yeah, you see the numbers, 20 million tourists per year. So how can this, how about the capacity of the tourism destination to accommodate such amounts? Of course, Venice has now restricted the entrance of the big cruise vessels, and that was the good decision.
And additionally, they, from I think 23 or 24, they're going to add like a tax to.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. That's one of the measures how to plan and how to, let's say, escape from this trap. Another very brief example, and this picture was taken from Barcelona. So Barcelona is also actually sometimes crowded and overcrowded and very much tired of flows of tourism. You know what happened in Barcelona? The tourists actually took all the flats and all the apartments. So people who had free apartments, they were trying to yes, to let them through Airbnb, and so the prices for the real estate and for the rent have risen. So the local community started feeling very much uncomfortable, and they said, well, we are not welcome anymore. The tourists take everything. So this is not the way it should be. That's another reason why the tourism industry has to transform. I mentioned some of the factors, but the main thing is, if we do not control and if we do not apply sustainable methods of tourism management, the destination itself will lose its appeal and people will not travel to the destination eventually. So that is the bad thing. Okay. So for that actually not to happen, there is not only one, but one of the main thing is to apply sustainable methods of management. What is sustainable tourism? Actually, we have a magic triangle. We need to ensure economical development and growth, but at the same time, we need to keep the local communities happy and preserve social, cultural welfare. That has to be done. And at the same time, preserve and protect natural and cultural environment. So just take away any of these things and you will get the over-tourism or the bad impact of tourism. So that's one thing, or another reason why the tourism industry needs to transform. Just very briefly about some factors which are influencing tourism growth, apart from economical and political situation, which is quite obvious. I would say that accessibility is the key thing actually. How easy is to access the destination, and not physically always, but also in terms of IT technologies, how easy it's to get the information about the destination, how developed is the information system, how easy is to get and upload the internet app so that you can get everything in one hand. So all those things. But of course, security and epidemiological situation is number one, and it always will be the most important things. Now, back to tourism transformation. I should tell that tourism industry has been developing very rapidly and has been changing ever since Thomas Cook in the middle of the 19th century arranged first commercial tourism trip. But the main triggers for the industry to change was actually the wide use of internet, when we had the ability to book everything on the internet, tours, hotels, flights, and that happened at the end of 20th century and at the beginning of 21st. So you see those logos that are quite familiar. You can easily go on Expedia and book every trip that you need, or let's say to Booking.com. Well, as to the tourism product supply chain, when I started my work in tourism industry 20 years ago, the supply chain was very traditional. We had the destination management company, accommodation provider, who was providing some information and products to the tour operator. Then the tour operator was providing it to the travel agent, and the customer had the only opportunity to go to the travel agency and buy the product. Whereas now the customer is the king, and customer can go either to the physical travel agency or to buy everything online. So the choice is very much wide, and for people to buy the tourism product is pretty easy. Also, during my practical experiences and during the research that I have carried out, so there is a change in consumer behavior also. The travelers nowadays, actually, they want authentic experience. This is not enough for them just to go on a package holiday. They need to get some real taste of the country.
Yeah, that's why they're actually like Airbnb, which is a part of the problem.
Yes.
Offices as well. Because we went in Italy and there were so many opportunities to learn how to cook, like, you know, with the local, to learn how to make limoncello
exactly.
with the local. And,
yes,
yeah.
yes, being with the local experience, yes, so definitely. And of course, the tourists are really very much cautious about the safety requirements and about the COVID requirements. Yes, yes, it has to. And as to the customer profile, the customer profile demographically is also changing. We have the solo travel, or the travel of single people, which is on the rise. A lot of people, especially from somehow women, ladies, really want to travel alone. We have new types of families. We have people that are really educated and smart, and they have traveled a lot. So you really are very much under pressure to offer very good product. And also aging society. We need to, especially in the Western world. And yes, the industry has been asking questions for how the tourism industry shall survive. How shall this industry become resilient to the shakes and to the disasters like COVID? How can we regain the confidence of the traveler? So it looks like the planes are really full, and the flights are really fully booked at the moment. But there was some kind of time where the people were really scared to travel. So that is the question. And yes, there are many things, but I would say what I would like to stress actually is, first of all, do the personalized offer to your customer. Don't try to sell something. Don't try to sell just Macedonia, but try to sell the experience. Try to sell the food, the smell, the other things. Yeah, exactly, yes. And in case of the trouble, show that you are supporting them. 24/7 help assistance for the travelers is what they need, actually. Also, I told you about so many different options which are available on the internet, but sometimes too much of choice is a headache. If we go to the supermarket store and see so many different types of bread, so we just get confused. What shall we? So for the travel industry professional right now is to manage to be able to get out of this data some specifically designed travel products for the customer, and also as I call it, carefully selected offers. And of course, security, flexibility, more last-minute bookings because the people might cancel their trip due to the disease or anything else. So the travel industry has to adapt to that. And yes, the cooperation between the national and international tourism bodies, governments, NGOs, and travel and industry players is crucial. And also the transformation will require new leadership skills, for new management skills, actually, to tackle those changes. It is really, really challenging. We talk a lot about the digitalization. So, I know that there was supposed to be the panel discussion on that topic, but just an example. So, this has started in the travel industry before the pandemic, and let's say in 2019, more than 40% of American travels was booked online. So this trend will continue, and actually online, not only booking, but also sharing online experiences between the travelers and the destinations have to be digitalized, and that is the crucial and important things. Sustainability and innovation. The speakers already mentioned this word, so innovation, innovative products enhancing customers' experience have to be applied. More domestic travel. Yes, during the pandemic, domestic travel was a king. People traveled, and a lot of, let's say, hotels in Lithuania survived due to the domestic travel. So this will continue. People will be reluctant to take long-haul flights because they might be aware of the pollution and of the carbon footprint. So that is, and that the example is like night trains are back on track. Let's say we have a big popularity of night trains in France, in Switzerland, in Germany. People are getting back on trains and traveling on a train instead of taking a plane. And from the customer service perspective, actually, I always mention this, that you need to feel the customer pain points. If you want to create a product which is suitable for the customer, ask the customer what is the problem that you need to solve. And the thing is with the travel, that this is let's say, the experience which starts as soon as the customer leaves the home back to the moment when he or she returns. So from that, every fragment of the trip has to be really satisfying. And the new travel forms are emerging. Like I already mentioned, Be Leisure or Workation, where people try to go to some distant countries and work remotely, and that is the possibility. Yes, and one of the example is the slow travel movement. This is the examples actually of how tourism industry is transforming. What is slow travel? Slow travel is an approach very similar to the slow food movement, which was actually originated in Italy as an opposition to McDonald's and as an opposition to those cheap street eats. Yes, so slow, meaning that you have time to enjoy, that you not necessarily have to have everything prepared in advance. You just go, enjoy, and what is most important, buy local produce, meet local people, avoid crowded places. So this is, and use public transport instead of getting on the plane or other ecological means of transport. So the slow travel is really a big boom at the moment, and a good example of how the travel industry has to transform. Just a few examples and I will finish. Okay. Another example is smart tourism. I think this one is the better. What is smart tourism and smart tourism destination? I don't know if you have a possibility to read about it, but this is one of the subjects of my research in the Lithuania Business Academy of Applied Sciences. It's basically smart tourism is related to the big data which is processed and used to create the value and product in tourism and service industry. But that is more important that this has to be also adopted to the local population. So when destinations are creating products that are suitable for the locals and for the tourists, using big data and IT tools and innovative technologies, and also developing in a sustainable way, that's the smart tourism destinations. And it basically is about smart accessibility options. So I already mentioned, so accessibility physically, regardless of your age, your health position, your sex, whatever, but also accessibility online. Sustainable initiatives, so the travel, the products, the tourism has to be sustainable. Smart information sharing means that in real time, you should be able to share your experience, your travel itinerary with your friends, with your travel provider, with the statistics. So everything has to be in real time, thematic. Smart research and management tools. Of course, as I mentioned, the challenges that are ahead for the managers. And smart tourism experiences, meaning that, as I also said before, people want some authentic things, and the experience has to be somehow measured and collected, and made some scientific researches out of that. So there is this wonderful initiative which is funded by European Commission, European Capital of Smart Tourism. So you see that this is basically about the accessibility of tourism products using information communication technologies, healthy social and cultural environment, once again, for the locals and for the tourists equally. And the interesting thing is that there is no more kind of division between the local and the tourist. Everyone is equal, the local and the tourist. So if we talk about, let's say, public transport, so it has to be equally accessible to the local and to the tourist. That is a smart solution. So you should have one app available in different languages, so that if I'm coming to Skopje for the first time, I should be able to download it and easily book the ticket for my bus trip. Just an example.
Yeah, the locals are unable to do that.
Or to the museum.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but that is the challenge. So that is what is the smart tourism capital is about. So, and that is, again, the innovative and intelligent solutions. And the communication and collaboration of different businesses and local and governments. So this is, by the way, smart tourism, the capital of smart tourism in Europe, few cities, a lot of cities have one, like Valencia, Gothenburg, Ljubljana, Breda, Helsinki, in different fields. So that is really interesting to see what they founded. And everywhere, actually, the products are available, as I said, for tourists and for the locals as well. And ability to measure it using big data. The last example, during pandemic, IATA, which is the International Air Transport Association, also developed a tool called Travel Pass. So that was the possibility for the travelers to upload information and have a contactless way of uploading information regarding their travel, regarding their vaccination status, and also the information went straight to the airline, so the airline could actually, by using this smart tool, get the answer whether the person is eligible on a flight or not. So this is another yeah, just not too much going into the detail of how that worked. But it was also related to the big data, which is called Timatic. Timatic is the data that is processed by 300 airlines globally. So everything was in real time, and it was very easy for the person, just without any contact, to get on the plane and to verify the status of vaccination and other things. So this is just an example, or few examples, of how the industry has to transform. And yeah, I guess that this mission is possible, and the transformation has already started. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Professor Putinas. I wanted to ask if anybody has any questions regarding the topic to any of our professors, regarding any topics. Yes?
Yes, I have one.
I will give you the microphone.
Yeah, it's not a big question.
Okay then.
I like very much your part about smart tourism, although I think that to do tourism is always a smart decision, but nevertheless, I'm a little bit surprised about the capitals of the smart tourism in Europe, but I accept that. But on a global scale, I was thinking about Hong Kong, Melbourne, Bangalore. These are very, very tourist-friendly cities that I have been. So could you expand a little bit your information about these global smart tourism capitals?
Of course. Thank you very much. This is a very relevant remark of yours, because yes, I was just mentioning this European initiative, but it's also globally. And the cities like Singapore and Melbourne, they are applying the same methods. So yeah, they're applying the same methods and the same methodology. What is interesting from the scientific point of view, so we know what requirements are, but we don't have the universal KPIs how to measure the smartness of the destination. So the research that we are now carrying on in our university is to sort of make a unified criteria for that. So, but yes, you're right, it's not only European, it's the global thing, and some cities are more advanced than the others, like you mentioned, Melbourne and Singapore. About Bangalore I haven't heard, but I guess they will, about the smartness of it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Does anyone have any other questions? Regarding any of the topics. It doesn't have to be about the last one. Okay, I'll take that as a no. And I'll use this opportunity to thank all of you for the time that you dedicated to participate with us today. We will be closing the session from the Faculty of Economics and Administrative Sciences with these three presentations. Thank you for all of those who attended through the live stream. Thank you for all the professors who presented today. Mainly thank you to Erdem, who is managing the live stream and who has created everything beautiful that you see, our promo packages, our notebooks. Everything beautiful that you see that represents IBU, he's made it, and he's always available for us, and we're so grateful to him. So thank you so much for your participation once more, and we'll see everyone tomorrow at 9:15 a.m. with the new session. Have a great day.
End today?
Yes.
Yes, end of the day today.
Day. The last topic was tonight.
Ще не може да ги приема сам икони на една